50 here. It hasn't really been running right since I bought it, but we're gonna get it going good for the kiddos today. Whenever you start it up, it just cuts right off. And the idle screw is broken on it. You can pick up a carb for these things for like 15 bucks on Amazon. So I got one on the way, and I'll show you guys how to replace that. Carburetor came in today. 15 bucks on Amazon. Should work just fine. Also threw in, they came with a another petcock. I'm not going to change the one that's on there. It's fine. So we'll go ahead and get this installed. Alright, so all you need to do this is pretty much a Phillips head, screwdriver, and a number 8 wrench. So go ahead, loosen up the boot clamp connected to your airbox. Then loosen up these 2 bolts here on the exhaust manifold, which I already got them pretty loose. One and 2. Then should be able to just shimmy it on out of there. There we go. Make sure your feel's off while you're doing this too. Alright, so once you got your carb pulled off there, my gasket fell. A little adapter piece. Go ahead and remove this top screw for your throttle. Okay, then once you get that fuel line removed off of there, carburetor is off. Then you gotta go ahead and remove this the throttle from your slide. You just go ahead and push down on it. A little hard with one finger. It pops out, and then you just pull it through that slot there. Alright y'all, so I got it all buttoned up, throttle on, fuel line on. Now we're going to go ahead and mount it. It mounts on there like that. Your fuel cable sits to the front on these. And then just make sure you got your spacer there with the O-ring. And that's going to go facing your manifold. And then this O-ring is going to seal up against that. Alright, so a little tip here. Make sure you get put your air boot side on first. And I like to leave a little gap there, because these things are pretty small. And then take your gasket and kind of slide it in there as you push the carb in. That way it all lines right up. Alright y'all, so once you get your carburetor on, make sure that your boot is fully sealed around your carburetor. You don't want to have an air leak in there. And then make sure your manifold is tight on the carburetor. And by the way, when you're doing your throttle cable, if you installed it and it doesn't feel right, that means you don't have your slide in there right. You got to go ahead and flip that around, and your throttle cable will be responsive. Let's go ahead and give it a first start. There we go. She's back idling. Not bad for 15 bucks.